My first collections were matchbook covers, which my mother forced me to abandon as I was picking them up out of the gutters and bringing them home.
My father was an avid collector. He collected Chinese bronze mirrors, Asian baskets, folk art, craft, illustrated children's books, Noah's Arks, lots of textiles.
The Coatson collection had about 15,000 objects. It was his joy.
When I was in the Navy, I got stationed overseas in the Pacific. And I had $200 a month to spend, and I ended up buying Chinese bronzes. So that started it.
At Princeton, after undergraduate, he applied to graduate school in architecture. He did 1 year there. He ended up going to business school, and in the middle of business school, he decided he wanted to go to the American School of Classical Studies in Athens. He worked as an architect-archaeologist.
I was drawing stones. Drawing stones is not the greatest exciting thing in the world. A stone is a stone is a stone. But the challenge to me was thinking, how were these people living? What were they doing in this building? I looked and said, there has to be a staircase there, or there has to be holes for some posts. Nobody else was doing it. After they found it, they then thought about it. And I was thinking before, and so it was a whole different game hunt for me.
6 weeks every summer for many, many years. He had an archaeological dig in Greece. That really made a big impression on him. Changed him for life. He had all these interests. I mean, whether it was Greece, archaeology, certainly the Japanese baskets I grew up, they were on our stairway in our small house.
He and his wife encountered this kind of squished looking, awkward basket. They found it very charming, so they bought it. And then he started learning about Japanese bamboo baskets and became kind of an expert.
He also ended up collecting not just old baskets, but modern baskets.
Japanese baskets take a material and vary the texture, vary the discipline, and carry it to an extreme.
Not a lot of Japanese at the time really appreciated them. So he started the Coatson Prize of bamboo baskets, and it was very prestigious because here is a foreigner doing a prize for Japanese artists. My father was a singular collector, so whether it was baskets, and then that sort of ended, and he moved on.
He is well known for the Neutrogena collection of folk art. And I think that it embodies this playfulness in his collecting.
The Neutrogena collection, I started because I moved out of a big house, so I took all the stuff out and hung it down in Neutrogena, shared it with the people there. But they didn't necessarily like it in the beginning. But I was a dictator and they had no choice. I happen to be interested in what I call no-name art. So I don't really care who the artist was. What I'm really interested in is how somebody used something and would leave a particular vision.
And then he went into textiles. All around the office, he had Kuba cloth, Japanese kimonos.
He loved to shop for these garments.
I've always been interested in texture because I like to touch things. So most of the things I've collected reflect that interest.
Later in life, he decided to collect fragment textiles.
Nothing was larger than 24 by 14. In fact, he said, nothing bigger than about this. And we kind of measured that distance between his palms. With all of his collections, he really enjoyed putting them together, but there was always this next stage where he would enjoy sharing them with everyone else. The Japanese bamboo baskets were donated to the Asian Art Museum in San Francisco.
The fragment textiles went to the Textile Museum at George Washington University.
The folk art collection was donated to the Museum of International Folk Art in Santa Fe.
The illustrated children's books went to Princeton.
And of course, the Noah's Ark collection. What better place for that than the Skirball? So his involvement with the art that he collected was complete. Everybody should be like Lloyd Coatson.